What's going on, everybody? Eric Barassa here, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I've shared with you a little bit about my weight struggles, and just to give a quick background. Basically, when I was in middle school, I gained a lot of weight, and I kind of became a fat kid, and not kind of, I definitely did. And then in high school, I thinned out, and in college, kind of went up and down, and really sort of ever since, I've been kind of up and down. But it came to a head when several years ago, I had gained over the course of like five-year period about 50 pounds, and so I was about probably 50 to 60 pounds overweight, and I weighed 236 at the height of it, and said I got to lose 50 pounds, and so I did. I got down to like about 185, and it took me about a year. I could have done it faster, but I really took my time, wanted to make very gradual changes. And since that time, I have mostly maintained, although lately I'm up about somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds, depending on the day and depending on how I'm eating. And sometimes I'm eating real poorly, and sometimes I am eating really well. But as of late, especially, I just haven't been trying. And I noticed that one of my big motivations for wanting to get down and lose weight again is that I'm having these mood swings, and they're wild. Like, I go from thinking I can do anything to like super depressed and what's the point of life? And that sounds exaggerated, but it really takes me to that place. I mean, it becomes very dark very quickly. And I thought maybe it was sugar, because I've read recently that sugar can have an effect on your mood pretty rapidly. You can have these spikes, almost this kind of bipolar thing, and it doesn't cause depression and fear and anxiety, but it can trigger and exacerbate those things. So I noticed strong feelings of depression and anxiety and fear. So for instance, one afternoon last week, I was supposed to make a couple of phone calls to a couple of potential guitar students, and I was supposed to do some other admin things and business related items. And I sat here at my computer with the list of things to do, and usually as long as I have a list and I'm organized, I can check it off and go through it. And I just became paralyzed with fear. Like, I can't even pick up the phone. And so I went home and just said, I'm just going to play video games for a little while and get my mind off of everything. And while I was doing that, I had this giant tub of M&Ms, and I just sat there and pounded them back. It's always been kind of M&Ms especially have always been a way for me to cope with stress, which is not healthy. And I don't like that it has kind of that power over me. So I said, I want to get rid of that. But what happened was I came back to work, and all of a sudden it was like new life was breathed into me, and I felt like I could do anything. And I was just like, bam, 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 let's get everything done. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm noticing a connection, and it must be like a sugar rush that I'm getting that's causing this. Well, I talked to a friend of mine who's a doctor on Saturday, and we were just talking about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm having these mood swings, and I think it's sugar related. And he's like, or are you eating a lot of chocolate? And I said, yeah, it's almost always chocolate. And he said, you could be eating so much that it's actually the caffeine that is affecting you. And I thought that totally makes sense, because I'm ultra sensitive to caffeine. If I drink any caffeine, like if I drink a Coke today, better example, if I drink like half a cup of coffee, then tomorrow, if I don't have a half a cup of coffee again, I'm going to get a massive headache. I become really demotivated, very tired. I just want to sleep. It's like I kind of go into this like state of depression. And so I found it's better for me to just stay away from it at all. And he said, I think it's probably the caffeine and the chocolate. So I've also noticed along with caffeine, alcohol is the same way for me. So I stopped drinking alcohol because I noticed it was creating those mood swings in me. I'd be super happy and feeling great, even if I was just having one drink. But then the next day, about 24 hours later, I'd get a massive headache, and I'd start to feel these feelings of depression. And it's like withdrawal. I start going through withdrawal from caffeine and alcohol, no matter how much or how little I've had. So I found it's best to just stay away from those. Well, now it's looking like I need to just stay away from chocolate. And I don't know if it's a sugar thing or a chocolate thing, but I thought, you know what, either way, I need to get healthy. I feel better when I'm eating better and eating cleanly and not overeating. So I'm following a diet plan. It's not meant to be a short-term diet. It's meant to just be a long-term lifestyle change. So when I say diet, I don't mean like a short-term thing. I mean like I'm changing the way I live my life and how I eat. And it basically, it's lots of vegetables and protein, and then of course a little bit of carbs because we need those carbs to keep us running. So, like, for instance, this morning I had just plain oatmeal. I added some stevia for some sweetener because plain oatmeal is really hard to eat. And I'm measuring everything out. So, it was like half a cup of that. And then I had 3 egg whites and an egg, as well as a bowl of vegetables with soy sauce, which I'm not supposed to have that. But as the creator of Dilbert once wrote in a book called How to Fail at Almost Everything and Win Big, he said, you know what, to eat well, I pretty much eat really healthy. He's like, but if I got to eat vegetables all the time, man, I'm going to have my sodium. And he's like, you got to have some kind of a vice. He's like, so if it comes down to sugar or sodium, I'm going to let the sodium go wild. So we'll see what that's like. But that helps a lot, just getting to have some soy sauce with my veggies. And then I had a protein drink, just some protein powder mixed with water. And I think that was it. Yeah, that was my breakfast. And then lunch and dinner are kind of similar. All in all, it ends up being like 12 to 1,300 calories a day. And then I'll continue working out. Normally I work out 5 days a week. I'm going to back it down to 3 days a week because I think my energy levels are going to be down a little bit. But I'm going to try and make them 3. About 45-minute, fairly intense workouts, about 20 to 25 minutes of lifting and 20 minutes of cardio. And that'll help with my time as well, because right now I'm exercising about 5 days a week, almost an hour each day. And I'm doing that because I'm eating so poorly. I'm trying to burn off all those calories. Then if I just eat better, I don't have to work out nearly as hard. So that's the plan. Today's day 1. And I'm going to keep you guys updated with what I'm doing. I don't know if I'll do it every day or once a week and check in. I'm not sure. As of today, I weighed 199.8, which is not good because I need to get down to that 185 range again. And yeah, so I'll keep going. Thanks for listening. This is mostly really just for myself so that I don't fall off the wagon and to hold myself accountable. So that's it. Anyway, bye-bye.